In the past 12 months, I've spent more than 100 hours at a theater watching new and old musicals and plays. And this has brought me to the total of 33 shows that I've seen in the past year. This means that I went to the theater more than twice a month, and now I'm up to the task that is my least favorite but the most useful to you, because I'm gonna be picking my top 5 shows of 2023 that you can still see in 2024. Let's dive in. We start at the position 5 because I'm sure that you'll be surprised to see which show is my top favorite of 2023, unless you're subscribed to my channel and maybe you've seen some of my previous reviews. Well, now is the time to click that subscribe button and help me get to my first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I would really appreciate. The 5th position goes to the new musical that has won an Olivier Award for the Best New Musical of 2023, called Standing at the Sky's Edge. This is a national theatre production that I went to see very early on in 2023, and up until this day it has really made a significant impression on me because it's such a relatable and modern story put into also a modern sounding musical. This story follows 3 generations of families and individuals who have moved into one apartment in Sheffield, and through their lives and the prism of everything that's happening to them, you get to understand a little bit about the culture of the UK at the time and of Sheffield and everything that's happening in their personal lives, but also what's surrounding them. And because it was such a great success when it came out and it was completely sold out, now it's having another run at the Gillian Lynne Theatre, and it started in February 2024 until the end of August. Tickets go for as low as £20, so make sure to grab them if you're after good deals, but otherwise there's plenty of availability to see it in the new year. The 4th position goes to The Little Big Things, a new musical which has warmed my heart like no other this year. I went to see it recently at the Soho Place, and because of how great of a success this story and musical has been, it has been extended until March 2024, and that's until when you have time to see it. The musical follows the story of an ex-rugby player who has suffered a life-changing accident that has made him completely paralyzed and not able to play rugby anymore, and it follows his family and community on a journey of his recovery and finding the silver lining in everything that has happened to him. It is such a positive and heartwarming piece that I'm sure that if you go, you will enjoy yourself and feel inspired. There are quite a few available tickets for £30, which you can go and check out on their website and book, but you do have only until the 2nd of March, so if you are planning to go and see it, then make sure to book it quickly. The 3rd position is also reserved for a musical, but all of you play fans, stay tuned because number 1 is a play. Anyway, back to the number 3. It is Operation Mincemeat. I couldn't make this video without mentioning Operation Mincemeat, which is, as they claim, the best reviewed musical in the West End history. They've got 64 5-star reviews. That is absolutely insane, and for a great reason. The masterminds behind this super successful musical are members of Spitlip, a musical comedic troupe, and they started with this musical as a French production first, and then grown all the way to get to the Fortune Theatre on the West End and have received now amazing success. The story follows an MI5 secret operation that happened during the World War II, where a corpse has been planted in Spanish waters with classified secret information about the invasion, and this helped sidetrack Hitler's troops. This is, believe it or not, a true story, and it is fascinating on its own, but I think what's even more interesting is how Spitlip managed to package it up into a really fun, thought-provoking, and quick-witted musical that just keeps you engaged from the beginning till the end. There are a lot of rap numbers, a lot of fun and funny moments, and just generally it is a really good musical to go see if you're not really into musicals, because just the whole story is very much about a historical event. It references quite a lot of British stereotypes stereotypes and just culture overall, and I can totally see those who are not into musicals really enjoying this. It is definitely one of the best shows to see on the West End, and you can see it until the end of September at the Fortune Theatre, and tickets go for as low as £40. And I will also put my full review in the description box below, so you can check that out if you want more impressions about this show from me. If you asked me a month ago, I would say that this is my favorite show of the year, but because I have seen another show recently, this is only the runner-up. I mean, out of the 33 shows, this is the second best show that I've seen. And please give me your drum roll for Guys and Dolls. If you've followed my channel for a while, then you probably have seen Guys and Dolls being mentioned on a few different videos, and that is truly because it's one of the theater experiences that I thoroughly enjoyed so much that I could not recommend it more. It is very lighthearted, it is fun, it is exciting, and when I went to see it, I really didn't know what the story is about. I was pleasantly surprised by the dynamic of the show, the immersive aspect of it, and just general feel-good vibe that I left the theater with. So in terms of the story, this musical is set in New York in 1950s, and it follows a few gamblers, a few women who are in love with those gamblers, and just generally what happens when love, white lies, and a little bit of imagination and different things kind of get all mixed up together. The best part about this show is that you can get standing tickets, which means that you will be standing by the stage and by the cast members as well. And the stage is moving throughout the show, which is really exciting. At some points you will be literally next to the actors who are in the scene, and at the other times you will be able to see dancing numbers from a little bit further afar. So overall, I would highly recommend, if you can stand for 3 hours, to get standing tickets. Also, from the moment you enter, you are immersed in neon lights, pretzels, beer, hats that you can get. It is a really fun atmosphere as soon as you enter theater, and it kind of carries after the show with the cast dancing with people who came to see the show. So overall, it's a great musical to see on a night out, and it's such a fantastic experience. So the standing tickets are currently about £40, and they're a bit more pricey, but this means that you can stand literally anywhere, so they don't really have tiers. Whereas like if you want to sit down, the cheapest ticket is £20. So I will leave my full review of this musical in the description box, and also the website where you can get tickets. And we've finally got to number 1, and this is the show that I've only went to see a couple of weeks ago, but it completely has blown me away, and I can't wait to go and see it again. And that is Stranger Things: The First Shadow. This is a play that is associated with the TV series Stranger Things, and if you're a fan, this is a super exciting thing to go and see, not only because it adds additional layers to the story, but also because it's such an amazing, mind-bending production that is simply setting the standard for all the future West End productions. I'm not gonna lie, I was very skeptical before I went to see this play, because I know that when there is a big TV show or when there's a big movie and then you try and transfer it to stage, it just doesn't work the same. But in the case of Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers, who are writers and creators of the show, as well as some of the key writers on the series, have been very much involved with the creation of the show, with the creation of the storyline, and ahead of the final season, season 5, it so nicely complements the story and gives you another piece of the puzzle to understand the villain Vecna. This play is the origin story of how Vecna became who he is and where that darkness is coming from, and it truly feels like you are completely immersed into this world, and for 3 hours you're enjoying a super long, amazing episode of this series. Genuinely, this show has been unexpectedly one of the best things that I have ever seen in my life. Caveat, however, is that I am a Stranger Things fan, and I have been following the series for a while, so I'm sure that that is why it resonates so much. However, if you aren't a fan, then it might be a little bit harder for you to resonate with this show, because ultimately it is a gory horror thriller type of a show, and if you're not into that kind of spooky theater, or just generally you do not resonate with Stranger Things storyline, that probably it won't be the best show for you. But if you're a Stranger Things fan, then I think there's no better show for you to go and see on the West End. The First Shadow is on until the end of August, and you can book tickets for as low as £20 on the days with good availability. And this concludes my list of my top 5 shows that I've seen in 2023 that you can still see for the majority of 2024. But I'm really curious to hear, what have your favorite shows been in the past year? Please comment below and give this video a like if you enjoy what I shared with you.